Got some high school talk about. Bradley getting back in action after missing a week after being off. Got Cleveland and Walker Valley tonight.
Yeah, and that game is still on.
Still on.
As of about 10 minutes ago, the last I heard, the game was still on.
Well, it should be on. I mean, we're talking about football. It should be played in the rain. If it's not lightning, light up and play.
Exactly.
What do you think, Doc?
Yeah, been in some torrential rain games over the years. Not any recently, but yeah, there's an element to it there.
Yeah. The most notable case in ours is the Bradley Cleveland Mud Bowl. This might be the Cleveland Walker Valley Mud Bowl tonight.
Oh yeah, so I chickened out and left there before the Bears and Raiders took the field again. So did it rip Bradley Field up pretty good?
No.
It wasn't too bad. It was muddy. It was sloppy, but
It's a sloppy game, but the field's in a lot better shape than what it used to be.
Yeah.
Which almost too good a shape. I mean, to me, when I see rainy, muddy football, I want like the days 87 when Broncos and you see the old clips of Elway just getting up after his jersey was just caked in mud. You get hit, tackled, and you slide 10 yards out of bounds, that sort of thing. That's football, man. I mean, these fields now are so groomed so perfectly, and they're so, they're sand based, and there's just not the same, just getting up and it just being mucky.
And I heard an interesting stat the other day. Alcoa, 318, artificial turf on the field. Last year they played 10 regular season games, not a single one on natural turf.
Wow.
Well, how about that?
Well, so they'd play their 5 at home, Maryville, if they played them, assuming they
played
played
Maryville on the road last year because they played Maryville at home this year.
Right, so there's 6 of them right
That's
there.
6 of them right there.
And
so I could probably go back and look at the schedule and tell you the teams. But
that's all right.
But the bottom line is still, high school team played 10 football games on artificial turf.
Now, the Bear Field, last time I was on it, still had the slight crown, the bevel to it, right?
Yeah.
And
that's the way a football field should be. That keeps the water from puddling up too much.
Yeah, if the field was totally flat, you'd have water standing.
Or if you made it cupped a little bit.
Yeah, then you'd have water playing in the pond.
Yeah.
As long as the sprinklers don't come on while the game is being played.
As always, Tommy Arnold and Doc in here with you. Boy, I tell you what, Doc, this has been 5, 6, 7 weeks in a row for you. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's coming to an end, gentlemen. The salt mine is when the calendar was flipped today. 10-1. Yeah, I'm on about a 12-day more carte blanche here, and then it's going to change. Of course, my calendar at home, it's usually like it's October. Now it's probably back on July if I actually look at it at home.
I don't even think we got a calendar at home.
Yeah, you ain't missing nothing.
Doesn't everybody have it on their phone now?
Exactly. I mean, you click your phone and it tells you what time it is in the day, and
I'm just as bad as everybody. I've got the calendar on my phone. I don't wear a watch.
Me too. I can't believe I quit wearing a watch after.
I don't. I had watch.
If somebody asks me what time it is, it's grab the phone.
Grab the phone time.
There you go. You the man.
You're on Good Sports.
Hey, Tommy. How's it going, my man?
What's going on?
I had to come to the bathroom so I could hear them. As they played this music real loud, and I can't hardly hear nothing. I started calling in, and I'm over at the game.
I was glad you didn't call us and tell us you was out of toilet paper over there.
No, I think the rain is holding off for a while. I hope it holds off till the game's over with.
Yeah, how's the field looking? Is it looking pretty wet?
No, it looks pretty good. There ain't no crowd here right now. Me and my brother and 2 of my friends is here, but I've been here since 5 o'clock.
Oh, is Ron there yet?
No.
He hadn't hit the hot dog stand yet.
I seen him here, last time I saw him, he had 3 hot dogs going up there and sitting in the stand.
Ah, okay, yeah, that sounds about it.
That's pregame.
But anyway, I thought I was call you guys, and I wish I could got a coach to talk to you on the phone here, but there ain't none come out yet.
Yeah, they're probably staying dry as long as they can too. Because it's I think it's gonna be kind of damp out there.
Who you guys? Are you guys? I know it's gonna be. Who you guys picking on tonight's game? If you don't mind me asking.
Oh no, I'm Doc's picking Cleveland at home. He don't care to tell you.
Oh really?
Oh yeah,
Hey Doc, how's it going, man?
not too bad, sir.
I actually picked picks in the paper and took it up there this morning, and I actually picked Cleveland to win 28-21.
Yeah, that sounds like a fair score.
But now,
The majority of the people I'm seeing are picking Cleveland to win.
I tell you what, though, Arnold, if Cleveland don't play no better than they played last week, Walker Valley's going to have their way with them.
You got two teams that are very inconsistent right now.
Yeah.
The big thing is you just don't know which team's going to show up.
I know it.
And, Walker Valley turned in the best performance of the year last week, but that's the only time that they really played well on defense.
Yeah.
Hey, that's right. And I think the one that wins tonight, if I'm not mistaken, goes in the playoffs, don't they?
You have to have 4 wins or over 3, or not any more than 3 losses to be in the playoffs.
Cleveland's at 500 right now, and but Tommy, I mean, Arnold, well, look at that. I don't think anybody should be in the playoffs if they ain't got a good record.
I totally agree. I think the playoffs have been watered down. There's too many teams in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Back in our day or in the early 70s, you had one team from each district go in the playoffs.
Hey, that's right. Guys, I hope the Vols, that game made me so mad I couldn't stand it. I'm going to put the blame on the coach on that game, but Tennessee should have won that game, and I hope they do better this week.
I don't know whether I'm mad so much as just frustrated at the way that game and Oklahoma game went.
Yeah. It was a tough loss for Tennessee, and they had it won really, and Florida just come back and won it. I guess I don't know what to say. But.
Well, and the thing of it is, this game has been talked about like crazy for a solid week. So many things went on in that ball game that you can point to and say this, that, or something else. But the bottom line is, when the game was on the line, Tennessee's defense didn't get the job done, and credit Florida's wide receiver on that side who made a terrific block on the exact right person.
Yeah.
And he just seemed like he went down and nobody was even around him.
I don't think he touched him.
No.
A lot of
that going on.
Well, the wide receiver on that side, he come back and blocked the defensive back that actually had the one real shot at the receiver. He took the right one out of the 3. And the other 2 was too far out of position to get there.
And we're going to talk about this game a whole lot more next hour. But since you're on the phone with us, I'll just kind of give you a little bit of my opinion on it. You expect the players, and in games like this, a lot of times, man, if so-and-so hadn't fumbled or this hadn't happened. To me, the players on both sides did a great job. I just think that Tennessee was outcoached.
Yeah.
I think Tennessee's coaching staff, critical points of the game, Tennessee's coaching staff dropped the ball.
I agree with you, Tommy. I mean, Tommy on that because I really think I watched that game and that's just how I saw it.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, I just want to say I want you guys to wish me happy birthday. I'm 67 years old today.
Man.
Well, happy birthday. You got me by 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Well, I hope I make it 68.
You will.
Anyway, guys, good talking to you.
Have a good one. Happy birthday.
Enjoy the game.
Talk to you later.
All right.
And as everybody can hear, the Cleveland High School game against Walker Valley at Cleveland High is on.
Bullets there now. They can't cancel it.
That's right. He won't let them.
Good.
So and Ron's done bought his hot dogs and gone to the stands. So
that's right.
That's going to happen.
So good. Good luck to both teams, and just hope, in that game, I don't really have a dog in the hunt there. Just want, all players involved to come out injury-free.
And for those of you that don't want to go out and try to sit in the weather, from what I understand, WTNB Channel 5 will be broadcasting the CHS live broadcast to the game. So, you can catch it one way or another. I know I'm DVRing it so I can watch it.
What is that on regular TV?
Regular TV, I think, is just 5.
Okay.
And that's one thing about Charter here is in those local stations like 3, 5, 9, 12, they use the same channels that you see on regular TV too. It's not like, I know Comcast has channel 9 is channel 10 and channel 12 is channel 13, which is crazy. Why? But
To confuse you.
yeah, exactly. Don't know where you're going.
No.
But anyway, channel 5 on your regular TV and channel 5 on Charter, I don't think you're going to find it on satellite. You might, if I've not seen it anywhere though.
All right. Well, you want to tell us the updated pick standings?
Updated pick standings. Well, Ron turned in, this was topsy-turvy week.
It really was.
It really was.
one
The
time.
people that's usually bottom feeders are on top, and the top dogs are all on the bottom. Ron turned in an 8-4 week. His total record is 55-16, and he's in first place, of course.
And what is that percentage wise?
I don't even have that.
You
on
don't
there.
have that?
I've got it, but it's on another.
No, well, don't worry about it. I just wanted
I can get
No,
that
don't
pulled
worry
up in a
about
minute. Danny is now in second place
Who would have thunk it?
with a 10-2 week.
No.
Yes, 10-2, and he didn't pick all home teams, Doc. He's at 51-20 for the season. Bryson is in third. He had a 9-3 week. He's at 50-21. Brian is in fourth after a 9-3 week at 49-22. Tommy, 7-5. You're dropping into fifth place at 48-23.
That was a rough week.
Coming down to my level.
Yeah, and I'm right there with Doc. I had
No.
a 7-5 week, and I'm at 47-24. Doc and Dustin are tied at seventh with 45-26 records, and Travis is ninth
Wow.
at 41-30. Travis is the anchor.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, such fun, such fun, such fun. I gotta have a 12-0 week here pretty soon. That's all there is to it.
Something I wouldn't know nothing about.
I gotta figure out a way to make up some ground.
Week
Just follow me.
week 7 here. Most teams have had their bye week at this
Yeah.
point. I'm sure there's a few teams out there that haven't, but most of them have. Some good games this week going on, and some big news today out of Maryville. I don't know if you saw it.
I missed that. I had a lot of stuff going on at the.
Quarterback Austin Inslee and defensive back Cameron Russell, both starters, have been dismissed from the Maryville High School team for violation of team rules.
Ooh,
So
that's a big thing today.
both of them's two starters. The quarterback's a junior, split time with the sophomore quarterback.
Yeah.
And then the defensive back, Cameron Russell. I'm not sure what grade he's in. Didn't say what they had done, but
And we probably will never hear officially, but
no. But good for the coach.
Quality team, quality coach. And that's exactly what's going to happen there. He don't put up with a whole lot.
Remember when Cleveland High School was in that long, about in the middle of it, that streak, the 54-game winning streak, Monroe had no choice to suspend at least the starting quarterback that I remember. I won't call his name out. I do remember what it was, but I thought, wow, Cleveland, that's it for them. They went on to extend that streak to some 20, 30 games past that.
yeah.
It's unbelievable.
So
So, they may just reload up there.
Well, Maryville has a record of doing that. A lot of teams I would say, ooh, they may be in trouble tonight. Maryville, I say they probably may have, or just keep on rolling. The score might be at 7 points closer.
yeah,
That's my-
Bradley's a good example. If that happened to Bradley,
Yeah.
go ahead
Yeah.
and fold the tent in and
Well, I don't know about pulling the 10 in, but it'd be a tough road.
Well, case in point, the Florida Gators, we won't get to go there.
We'll go that later.
Quarterback.
well, that's every year Tennessee makes a backup quarterback look like a Heisman winner.
Well, I don't know whether he made this quarterback look like a Heisman winner, though.
Well, and so why are you letting a why are you letting a freshman quarterback have 15 seconds to throw the ball 4th and 3?
That's more of a situation of maybe not rushing enough people.
Exactly, rushing 3. That's ridiculous.
Ron is at 77.5%.
Wow.
We're all
real close.
We're all real close except for Ron. Ron's kind of stretched out there,
Mhm.
but Danny's the one that's made some ground up. He's done some good picking.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, Danny. Keep up the good work. We'll just jump right in. Do you have any NASCAR news you want to talk about before we do?
Well, let's touch on that just a little bit, because this past weekend was a little bit interesting, because Kevin Harvick, who got bumped out of the race by Jimmy Johnson the week before, was in a position that he really needed to win the race, but he also needed a good points day, and dominated the race. Nobody really had anything for him. Made it to 2 laps from the end of the race, and the gas tank went dry.
How do you run out of gas?
It's kind of funny. Most of the teams pitted at the last caution, and most of the teams were at the edge, or actually outside of their fuel windows. According to Kevin Harvick's crew chief, they should have been able to go another 12 laps on the fuel on board.
He forgot
from
to
that
carry
fuel
the
truck.
one.
But it didn't quite work out that way, and I'll tell you what, that's one of my pet peeves, is crew chiefs that sit there and say, all right, we're 3 laps from our fuel window, the caution flag is out, we need to pit right now, and drivers find a way to save me 3 laps of gas. This is a race where you're supposed to be going as hard as you can go. Ladies and gentlemen, come on. Crew chiefs, wake up. If the fuel window is 50 laps and you're 53 laps from the end of the race, you're not going to get there.
No.
The winner of the race, Matt Kenseth,
Yeah.
waited 6 more laps, come in on the green flag, made his pit stop, got tires, got fuel, made up all the ground, put pressure on Harvick, made Harvick run hard, Harvick run out of gas, Kenseth takes the win.
So the guy that was smartest, could you get him to talk to Mr. Butch Jones?
Yeah. but everybody, the thing of it is, in NASCAR, there's more strategy going on there than a lot of people think there is.
Strategery.
But the thing of it is, your car is going to get a certain amount of fuel mileage, and that is it.
Yep.
And if you absolutely know your fuel window is 50 laps, there's no use coming in and getting gas at 53 and expecting to get to the end of the race. And the problem is, Kevin Harvick, if he has a good points day last Sunday, he stands a chance of having a good points day and making the cut this next week, because they cut after this
Right.
next Sunday, they cut 4 drivers out. You're going down to 12 chasers. Right now, he's in a position, he's 63 points back. That is not makeable with the point system as it is. The only way he makes the cut and goes forward is he wins this race. So this is going to get real interesting, because you also got Kyle Busch, who popped the tire in the race and finished bad too. So he's also got to win the race to make the chase further. So this could get real interesting, because if you get Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick, who are both a little bit hot-headed to go along with it, and it comes down to them trying to win the race, this Sunday at Dover, it could get real interesting.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah,
That's the way it should
be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's our NASCAR
be.
tidbit.
Brace still stink. Next topic. Looks like we'll just jump right into the games here. First one, 0-6 Signal Mountain travels down the mountain to Red Bank at 2-4. Signal's had a rough time of it. They give up a lot of points and they don't score very many.
Yeah,
That's kind of a recipe for disaster in football.
Yeah, the numbers are not working well for Signal Mountain. Their numbers on the football field are not producing enough, and they're down on numbers of players.
Yeah.
To boot.
Well, all of us over here Travis, Dustin, and me, we all say the 2-4 Red Bank Lions will become 3-4 Red Bank Lions.
Doc does agree there. It's it wouldn't surprise me if Signal Mountain did shock them there, but numbers are down, quality of the play is down. Doc picks Red Bank at home.
Well, Ron is going to go with Red Bank. Danny is going with Signal Mountain.
Wow.
Bryson is going with Signal Mountain. Brian is going to go with Red Bank. And I'm going to jump out there and say Signal Mountain gets their first win.
Ooh,
Oh,
interesting.
right.
Trying to make up a little ground or lose it.
Yeah, well, that's the point of the game.
Yep. Next up, probably the best game of the week. Arguably, Dobbins Bennett at 4-1, playing at Maryville, 6-0. And of course, the reason why you put this game on there is because we got a call.
Do we now?
You're on Good Sports.
Hey, Good Sports, Ron Moore here. Get ready to go inside the Cleveland Blue Raider game.
What's
Hey,
going on,
Ron.
It's wet.
I kind of thought it might be wet.
It's not raining at the moment, but that changes every 5 minutes all day long. So it may be real wet, then it won't be wet. So I wanted to call and tell you that never get any change from a UT football players because you only get 3 quarters for $1.
I knew somebody was going to say that today.
Oh yeah, I had to say it, guys. Cleveland and Walker Valley tonight is a toss-up completely. I heard Bullock calling a little earlier, and it's a toss-up. I think the Walker Valley can score. They can't keep people from scoring. Cleveland has a good defense, has trouble scoring. So and the common foe is McMinn County, and Cleveland beat them barely, and Cleveland and Walker lost to them barely. So it's a toss-up. Whoever can play in the rain will win.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I agree. It's a toss-up. I just that one's just so tough, because. And the thing of it is, Walker Valley went down and beat a Tyner team, and Tyner is usually a good football team.
Something's happened. Tyner started out the season very well. Then they got blowed out by Boyd Buchanan, and then they got blowed out by Walker Valley. Something has happened in that program that we probably do not know about. But there are two things really. The 2 weeks back-to-back, 40-something points scored on them, and they didn't score many points. I think something's went wrong down there. I don't know what it is.
I don't have a clue either. It just, when I was listening to that game on the radio last week, I was going, now is this the same Walker Valley team that's been getting killed by everybody, or what's going on here?
I think Walker Valley's going to give Cleveland all they want tonight. I picked Cleveland, of course. And you were talking about Signal Mountain real quick. They're starting a 13-year-old freshman quarterback last week. They actually controlled Blue Raiders' ground game pretty darn good. They had no secondary. Blue Raiders scored all their touchdowns off passes.
Yeah, I had that game on the TV while I was watching the Blue Raiders and the Signal Mountain while I was listening to Walker Valley. I had noise going on like crazy last week.
Yeah, and I want to tell you that our good friend from former Bradley High School coach Bill Price and I sat together last week up here at Cleveland Signal Mountain game, and he had a stroke earlier the year. He's doing great for all the old Bill Price fans. No after effects after his stroke, and he's doing really good. And he thinks this little 13-year-old kid is going to be great in about 3 more years.
All right.
Well, that's good to hear about Coach Price.
Yeah,
I always liked him.
yeah, he's a good guy. Now I'll let you get back to it, and like I say, I'll be sitting in the rain. And I heard Bullock said I've had 3 hot dogs. Not yet.
But they're coming.
Operative word is yet.
I'm about 50 or 60 steps away from it right now.
There you go.
Stay dry, Ron.
You man.
See you later. All right, bye-bye.
The great Ron Moore.
Yeah, I was wondering if he might show up down here tonight since it's raining like it was. But
Are you going to go over there?
no, I'm probably just going to go home, flip on the TV, and watch the rest of it from there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you want to, we can sneak out of here about 30 minutes early. That way you can see most of it.
Yeah, whatever. I got a DVR going too. So
Okay. All right. Dobbins Bennett's 4-1. They Maryville, they've just continue on. That game, that may make it a little closer. They may Maryville may only win by 20
instead of 20, instead of 30.
Instead of 30 or 40. I like Maryville in that game, even with those suspensions. But I think it does. I think it makes Dobbins Bennett play them a little bit closer, though. Travis says Maryville. Dustin says Maryville.
Is it bell ringer?
Well, let's see. I don't see anybody
even
going
in light
against
of-
Maryville in
In light
this
of
one. Yeah,
Ding-a-ling.
Ling-a-ling.
that's one. And I've said this before. You put Maryville on there, it's going to be everybody's going to pick Maryville.
Next up, maybe I spoke too soon about the best game of the week. This one, the annual clash between Macaulay and Baylor. This one's at Baylor. Baylor's 5-1. Macaulay's 2-3. Macaulay's played a tough schedule
Yes.
so far.
To a point on this, when you look at the power rankings and home team gets 2 points, Baylor's a 1-point favorite.
Wow. So this is one of those games, like most of them's been this year with our picking. It seems like it could go either way.
I'm either doing a real good job or a real bad job picking games.
No, you're doing a really good job. If you're picking games that, the last couple of years, our percentage has been in the 85, mid 80s. This has been a tough year to pick. I like Baylor in a close one. I just think it'll be really close. I think that Baylor being the home team, I think they get the edge there.
I do too. At one time ranked number 1, I think there, and they got beat even at home, Innsworth or whatever it was. Yeah, which was shocking. You're going there 4-0, 3-0, whatever it was. I was upset there. Yeah, Doc picks the Baylor Red Raiders at home there.
Well, let's see. It's going to be interesting because it is not a bell ringer.
No,
it is not a bell ringer. Everybody has picked Baylor except Brian.
Except for Brian.
Brian stepped out there
Saved
and
by
he's
the bell.
taking the Cully.
And
Saved by Brian.
Travis and Dustin also going with Baylor.
And then this is going to be a terrific football game. And it's played tomorrow. I think it's played tomorrow night on Friday night. It has been played on Saturdays. It has been played at Finley Stadium. It has been played at both home places. But this game will be on artificial turf. There will be no mud involved. So it's going to be.
And there's a 90% chance of rain tomorrow?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Football weather.
I think it's going to rain.
I think it's going to rain.
Yeah. Next up, Jefferson County, 2-3 at old Billy Blunt. William Blunt, 2-3.
That's the only one I was in debate on.
That one was a tough game to pick also, I think. Jefferson County 2 weeks ago narrowly lost to Bradley.
Yeah.
Their common opponents, they've been both pretty close on scores. So, looking at that one, the last time they played, William Blunt won 21-19 last year.
Yeah.
So you got two very even programs here. Again, to go with Doc's philosophy sometimes, when you got a close game like this, home team is a deciding difference for me. I'm going to go with William Blunt. Travis goes with William Blunt, but Dustin goes with Jefferson County.
Yeah, I picked the William Blunt Governors there. Well, I know that news has got to be resonating through Blunt County up there, I guess.
Downtown Maryville's just in a tizzy.
It's a buzz, yeah.
That's right.
Well, and you're right. This game is pretty much an even match. William Blunt got a new coach, second-year coach,
Mm-hmm.
and are playing better football. Jefferson County has played probably one of the better seasons that they've had in a while.
They just played a really tough schedule.
Yes, it's been a good one. They played
Maryville already.
Maryville, and then Morristown West,
Mm-hmm.
which is a very good football team.
You know, we always look at Alcoa and Maryville being the measuring stick, and William Blount has lost to Maryville they lost to Alcoa 35-7, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Jefferson County lost to Maryville 35-7.
Yeah,
so
it's tough to call.
it really is.
Ron went with Jefferson County. I went with Jefferson County. Bryson went with William Blount. Danny went with William Blount, and Brian went with Jefferson County.
So about a half and half there.
Yeah, that one was kind of divided on that one.
That's where you get the separation. Those are good ones. This one I don't think is going to be a good one. This next one, Tyner at 3-2, coming off of a big loss against a 5-1 Marion County team. I think Marion County rolls in this one. I mean, in the mud, in the muck. Travis and Dustin also think so. I don't think it's going to be a close one at all. I think it's going to be over with early.
Yeah, I'm not going to disrupt the bell ringing possibility here. Yeah, I think Marion County will get them home. Like you said, Tyner a little down in the home team there.
Well, they started out pretty decent.
Yeah, and that's the question you've got for Ron. You know, Ron brought up is what's happening at Tyner. You know, usually a good, solid program, and the last 2 weeks had gotten killed by people that you would have thought they would have handled. But everybody else is probably scratching their head over the same thing on this side because they all went with Marion County. So you can ring that bell.
Right, the bell's going to be rung, bell ringer.
All righty. Next up, 0-6 Siegel. That's kind of a surprise in itself.
Which that's a huge surprise.
Riverdale, 4-2. Riverdale's at home. Riverdale seems to have gotten back on track after a couple of lackluster years.
Yeah.
You know, to me, that's kind of a no-brainer. I may be wrong, but Riverdale at home. Same thing with Travis and Dustin.
Yeah, I would. Is that a no-brainer? I guess. 0642 Riverdale. Yeah, Doc picks Riverdale there.
The only reason I put this game on it is because it's a crosstown rivalry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's the only reason that game got on here. Ring the bell for Riverdale.
But you know, I could see that if Bradley or Cleveland, either one, reverse row, had those records, I would say, yeah, you can throw out the records.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 0-6, 4-2, no matter which one.
I agree. Next up, McMinn County, the Cherokees at 2-2. Another team that's been very inconsistent.
Yes.
You know, you have a guy run the ball for 300. What was it? 330.
Yeah, 330, 350,
and then lose.
Yeah.
They have no passing game at all.
Exactly.
And they're very one-dimensional. Even if you give him all those yards, give him his 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, you can still beat them 34. I mean, the 34 has been a common denominator for them. They've lost 3 or 4 games, or 3 or 2. Well, they're 2 is what they've lost, and they've lost them both. They've given up 34, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
34.
You get to 34, you're going to have a good luck. This week, I don't think that's going to happen. I think they are going to go up to White County and take care of business.
Yeah, Doc sees that as well. McMinn County Cherokees, will win over the White County. Was it Spartans?
It's White County.
Spartans.
I think it is.
I'm not going to bet my hair on it, but I would say I think they're Spartans. Just remember from the days of what was it, Kelly Jolly?
Yeah,
and all
which
that.
they are from Sparta. So
Spartans. Or maybe that's where I got that from.
Maybe that's where you got it because I don't
White
think
County.
they're red.
They're
Maroon and white. Wasn't
yeah.
it? White County I want to say it's the Spartans. Sparta?
I think
From Sparta.
I think it is. They are from Sparta, and I've seen a mention on the message boards that are listed as Sparta. And while my trusty computer starts looking here, White County is not very good.
Mm-mm.
McMinn County. The worst thing about the trip for McMinn County is going to be going into Central Time Zone and getting back late.
Doesn't matter though. I think he's going to probably run for. I think he goes for over 300 again.
Oh, I think so, very easily. But you can ring the bell on that one.
Ring a bell, ring a bell, ring.
McMinn County's going to roll.
Oh,
over this
wait a minute,
bunch.
wait a minute. Nope, I can't.
Oh,
nope.
I unring it. Travis decided to go with White County.
Oh,
at
okay.
home.
No,
That-
I wasn't paying attention there either.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Doc, Doc picked the Spartans there, yeah.
Uh-oh.
So I was saved by two there.
Saved
All
by
right.
the bell.
Saved by the bell, yeah.
That should be a TV show.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, I think I'm going all home.
Yep. Next up, Ottawa and Saudi Daisy. And
It's the White County Warriors.
I was close. You spelled backwards to Sparta, isn't it? Spartans.
just for the record, let's get this call real quick. You're on Good Sports.
How you doing, Tommy?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good.
You're not at Cleveland High School?
No, I'm at home.
Well, why ain't you at Cleveland?
I'm gonna watch that on TV.
I don't blame you. It's not a Bradley game, so
Well,
you're not going to get
I
wet.
can't say anything because I'm going to do the same when I leave here.
Hey, Tommy,
Yeah,
here's my picks for tonight.
go for it.
So, these three for tonight.
Okay.
Maryville, they're playing that team that we didn't play yet.
There's a couple of those.
You know who I'm talking about?
Dobbins Bennett.
Yeah. They're playing Maryville tonight.
Yeah.
I picked Maryville.
No.
Yes. At home.
Yeah, Maryville at home. You just picked it because it's a home team, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Cleveland,
Yeah.
I picked Cleveland to win that game again.
Uh-oh, Walker Valley fans going to be mad at you now.
You know what they did?
What'd they do?
They beat the team Single Mountain.
Yeah, I know they beat Signal Mountain.
Yeah. I had to pick them again.
So everybody else has too.
Yeah. And I got Jefferson County on the road. They're playing William Blount.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I picked them tonight.
Oh, you picked Jefferson County, huh?
Yeah. On the road.
On the road. The road team wins.
Yeah. And I got BCHS.
Who would that be?
Bradley.
Yeah.
Hey, and here's a good game for you, Tommy.
Okay.
Science Hill traveled to the team we didn't play. The team we didn't play yet. Hardin Valley.
Yeah, gonna watch that game.
We have to play them soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Hey, I was gonna let everybody know that's homecoming for us.
Yes, it is.
That's on the 16th. That's on the 16th as we get back.
Mm-hmm.
I picked Hardin Valley to win that game.
Oh, you looking for them to be pretty good, huh?
Yeah. And Steve, can I say this name, Tommy?
Go ahead.
Stome.
Stone, yeah. Stone Memorial.
Yeah. And they play Chattanooga Central
Oh,
tomorrow night.
coming down from Middle Tennessee.
Yeah. No, they're in Chattanooga.
Well, Stone Memorial isn't.
Yeah. Chattanooga Central is.
Chattanooga Central is over on Harrison Bay.
Yeah. Hey, I'll watch it on TV on Channel 5.
Yeah.
Cleveland Walker game. And tomorrow night, our game is on TV.
All right.
I see somebody's curly head is in the studio.
Somebody's curly head.
The guy sitting beside you.
Doc?
Duh.
Yeah, it's Doc.
He's over here daydreaming. He's counting my chickens before they hatch, I believe.
How you doing, Doc?
Holding up pretty good for an old man, sir.
Yeah, I'm playing. I'm gonna listen to the Dollar Bennett Maryville game tonight.
Listen to it. What?
Maryville Station.
Oh, yeah?
You're gonna listen to them, huh?
Yeah.
You got clothes hangers, some aluminum foil rigged up to your radio?
No. I go on the Coach T's website, and I click on the live streaming.
Very good.
Yeah, I go on there and I listen to their game on the radio.
Sounds good to me.
And our game's gonna be on TV
Yeah.
tomorrow night. WTMB.
Yeah, may have to record that and hope it don't blow the TV up.
Hey, Tommy.
Yeah.
I was gonna tell you. You know who's gonna win that game tomorrow night? Saturday.
Who?
Here's some games that are gonna be playing this weekend.
Go ahead.
Number 25, Mississippi playing number 3, Mississippi playing number 25, Florida on the road. And here's a good game for you, Tommy.
Okay.
Arkansas playing Tennessee at home. Vanderbilt traveling to Middle Tennessee playing MTSU.
Yeah.
Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, some more Raiders.
Yeah, and the what is it State? Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Playing Texas A&M at 7:30, and Notre Dame is playing number 12, Clemson.
That ought to be fun.
All right, you guys.
All right.
I better get off of here.
All right, Brett. Well, thanks for the call, buddy.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Alrighty then.
I totally forgot where we was at.
Oh,
yeah, we were at Oldewall and Saudi Daisy. Now, I sent you pics, and I have Saudi Daisy underlined.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to. I meant to go with Oldewall.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You're covering your bases.
Covering my bases before we even say anything. Looking at this game, both teams are 4-1. I really thought Saudi last week laid a big egg.
Yeah.
I thought they were a lot better than that.
Yeah.
And
lost to a not so good East Hamilton team by
Right.
2 points.
What, 26-28?
something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
2 point
28-26 East Hamilton.
I don't, East Hamilton didn't score a whole lot and they played some good defense
Yeah.
at times, but I really thought that they would run away with this game. Maybe it was a situation where they were looking to this game a little bit more than they should have been.
It's very possible.
I don't care if they have been looking forward to it for the last 5 weeks, though. I don't think they're going to. I think it'll be closer against Oldewall because Oldewall maybe not quite as offensively as good as we thought at the beginning of the year, but they're still good defensively. And so
Oldewall's defense
Yeah.
is really
So
good.
I liked Oldewall in this one, but I like it to be closer than what you might think.
Yeah.
Travis and Dustin both say Oldewall as well, and we can probably ring the bell.
Doc, Saudi Daisy. Home team. Come on home,
thing
boy.
on
I
them.
tell you what, though, 'cause see, if it rains 90%, remember the old Saudi field, it may,
May just be a crap storm.
yeah, what was that, 10 years ago now?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know, 90, a lot of rain, good soaking, 90% rain all day long. Ooh, was it? I
Well,
don't know.
Doc is kind of getting left on that limb by himself.
I'm out there on the limb, 4-1.
So he's going to be bragging next week or crying next week on
Saudi,
this.
that's
That might not be a bad pick, Doc. That really might not.
I really don't think that it's all that bad. I was kind of surprised that, everybody did go Ottawa that way. I think
they're
it's
going
just because of their
reputation.
defense.
Yeah.
Because, they pretty much shut Ray County down.
Rain's going to be the
Yeah.
equalizer.
That was pretty tough to do.
Yeah.
The question is, can Ottawa score enough points to win a ball
Yeah.
game sometimes?
Putting on here, stopped the bell.
Stopped the bell. But everybody else thinks.
Everybody else is taking Ottawa.
Next up, two teams that combined are 1-11 for the year. Lookout Valley's 0-6. Last year they were 1-9. In 13 they were 1-9. Last year they were 2-8. And then they're 0-6 this year. That's not very good.
Yeah, Tony's not having a lot of success down there.
Copper Basin, just a year removed from making the playoffs, I believe.
Yeah.
They ain't done so well either. I almost went with Lookout Valley to get their first win, but gosh, they're just not scoring any points. They're giving up tons. I think Copper Basin wins this one handily.
I do too. I remember 10, 15 years ago, Copper Basin had a good team, and they took the little cardboard, styrofoam cutout, like you see it around Halloween for the teams that they had beaten, and they had in their little graveyard, And I
Yeah.
Image, you remember that? With
Yeah.
a picture in a paper. Yeah, they went on, maybe been undefeated going in the playoffs or something during that time. But I picked the boys dressed in copper, whatever they dressed in, Copper Basin.
The Basin boys.
Flashes in a pan, fool's gold, whatever. They'll win at home Friday night against 0-6 Lookout Valley.
Yeah, I was just double checking, and you can ring the bell on this.
Oh,
one.
the bell ringer.
Everybody's taking Copper Basin.
Over here, Travis and Dustin, the same thing.
Yeah, it's
Now we're getting closer to home here. Polk County 0-5, Silverdale 3-2. What can you say about Polk County that we hadn't talked about? I mean, they're just every week. It's just, they're struggling right now. I really think that Silverdale keeps them struggling. I just don't see them getting a win. Travis and Dustin both. Now, if this game was at Polk County, I might think differently.
Yeah, I look in here in the area prep football standings, and it looks sad to see Polk right here at the bottom of the heap, just 0-5, 0-2.
Let's see who we got here. You're on Good Sports.
I'd like to pledge $50.
Okay, cool. Yeah. You want to make that check out to Tommy Loftus.
Aren't y'all raising money to fix the Cleveland High football field after they play on it tonight?
Oh, really?
Well, gosh, somebody's going to have to pay for a messed up field if they're playing on it tonight.
See, I thought you were wanting to pay Coach Jones to go ahead and coach all 4 quarters instead of.
Man, I heard that today. Unbelievable, isn't it, guys?
It's very aggravating, but we'll talk about that more in 15 minutes or so.
I'll say this. I left the house right as the game ended with my daughter to go to the movie, and we got in the car, and she told me I had anger issues. I said, yep, for about the last 7 years.
Yeah. I just sat and stared at it. I really didn't, and last week, I don't know if you were listening, but the guys across the table from me here made picks. I said, I'm going to stay away from the game because I just think it's one of those where Tennessee will find some stupid way to lose it.
And?
Ring the bell on that.
Yeah, definitely, Doc. Ring that bell.
Yeah.
Well, I feel bad for the kids, man, because they play their tails off. And, I told somebody the other day, I said, that game could have ended with Florida going out there going, man, our coach is a bozo. He called a timeout, let that guy kick another field goal if he'd made it or whatever. So.
Yeah. Now, tell me this. When have you ever seen a game where people call timeouts when other teams is fixing to kick, and it reverses things for the other team that they're successful instead of kicking, give up 4 fourth downs, and then have 2 chances at a field goal and still miss and lose the ball game.
I'm telling you what, not only did he call a timeout, he did it twice on 4th down.
Yes.
Play. And then we call a timeout when we run a no-huddle offense most of the time, and next thing I know, we're calling a timeout to stop the clock so we can shuttle somebody in there. I'm like, it's a first down. The clock, they're as soon as you get set, they're going to start the clock. Don't bring your timeout here, and it almost cost us. I mean, what if that had been Tennessee last time, and then they had to run the clock off there at the end?
Well, and I texted somebody because I didn't realize we did have that one timeout. I said, "Oh my gosh, the Dooley rule is going to beat us."
Yeah, you're right. Well, I'm telling you what, Saturday night.
But it would have.
Somebody's going to leave Neyland Stadium very, very unhappy Saturday night. I don't know if the big boy from Arkansas, what's his name, Billima,
Yeah.
or if it's going to be Butch. Well, somebody ain't going to be happy because that season's getting ready to really get even more out of control if whoever loses Saturday night. So.
How bad will the Boo Birds come out first quarter, 4th and 1, and Butch sends out the field goal unit?
Yeah. Butch may have to pull the old Mike Gundy approach after this game. Talk to me. I'm a man. I'm whatever.
Actually, no, he won't, because nobody's calling out the players on this. I mean, the 2 losses that Tennessee's got, you can put that firmly on coaching.
I know we're not supposed to say, man, we could be 4-0, but gosh, we could be 4-0.
Should be 4-0, not just could be, should be.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you've got a 13 or 14 point lead in the 4th quarter. You should win.
Well, I made a comment too, and you may have seen it, Travis. I think I put it on Twitter or somewhere. I told it to somebody. This is an instance right here where we're so close to being 4-0, but the thing of it is, in years past, in the last few years, we would have been happy for what the game's transpired into, and would have thought that was a great thing because we're so bad. This year, we've been legitimately in both football games.
Yeah,
and we'll continue.
And that is a huge improvement. Everybody wants to talk about how bad the calls were and coaching mistakes and everything, but if you sit back and say, get rid of the anger, get rid of the frustration, the aggravation, I see a better Tennessee football team.
I agree.
A better program. I see a better program.
Yeah.
You look at some of those kids out there, and I have to get my dang roster out from time to time because I'm like, well, who's that kid? Who's number whatever that is? I'm like, shoot, that's another freshman, or that's a sophomore, and so they are still young and learning and all that. So,
and I think that's probably for me one of the things that makes it so frustrating. You think that they could be a little bit closer to being, back, as we've talked about, and you take those couple of plays away, and just some of the decision making, and believe me, I know there's people out there that's posting Fire Jones, which would be absolutely the worst thing that Tennessee could do. It would set the program back another 10 years.
Yeah,
and
I totally agree with that.
And people with any kind of mind at all realize where Tennessee's program's at. But you look at it and, refusing some of the penalties.
That's the one that
didn't make
me.
In both games.
Yep.
I mean,
yep.
If you've got a freshman quarterback and you can put him first and 13 at the 3-yard line, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
You look at what their coach is going to do. They're going to either run the ball up the middle. They're going to go max protect. It's just it's a no-brainer, and yet no, we'll give them 2nd and 7 instead.
What's got me about that is how quick the ref is making the call that the penalty was declined. I mean, it's almost automatic. Just there's no hesitation. I don't even think the ref's looking at the sidelines. I mean,
no, Butch is saying that.
But black and white photo in today's yesterday's Times Free Press. It's not only Jones and his Janzik or whatever his name is. They're doing the old crossing the arms.
Yeah.
I that was, and both times it's happened, I'm like, okay, was that right? Am I?
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, just strap it up and get out there and play again, and hope for the best. So,
And we're going to see those close losses are going to become close wins. I really believe that. But I do think that Butch needs to look a little bit of it at some of his philosophies and some of his thought process.
yeah, I agree.
But again, the players are learning how to win a little bit. So are the coaches.
I was talking to one of my coworkers this morning who's also a big Tennessee fan, and this similar discussion came up. I'm going to refer back to a comment by Bear Bryant made back years ago, and it's something that you have to look at and say, to a certain extent it's true, but you lose a football game for every freshman you start. You lose that was one of his quotes back years ago. But here's the thing, we're playing a lot of freshmen, a lot of youth. We've got a head coach that came from a mid-major and moved to the top level. There's a learning curve there too, because he is in a new scenario, and he's got to learn. And we was talking about this today, whether to go for 2 or 1 on that touchdown was our big argument.
Oh, my.
And the book, and he was fussing. He was fussing about the book idea that he went by the book.
No.
Well, every coach has a statistical analysis of what is the most statistical smart thing to do in every situation. They've run these stats all over the place. They all have the book. Some of them may not admit to using it, but they've all got it. That's where the Division I top flight coaches learn when to go against the book.
This is a chart from a previous Tennessee coaching staff.
Nope.
With plus 12, or excuse me, or where's it at?
I can give you the numbers right here.
Yeah, plus 6, the score after the touchdowns plus 12, you go for 2.
Yeah.
Well, I got 26, even if they had not have made the 2-point conversion. If, I stand by my original comments, it forced, Florida, a touchdown was going to beat us anyway.
Right, exactly. Leading by 12 is no worse than leading by 13, or leading by 13 is no better than leading by 12.
But the point I was making is that he was mad because Coach Jones was using analytics.
Oh, yeah. Well.
And I was sitting there saying, every single coach out there has a book of what to do when.
Yeah.
It's just a question of knowing when to go by the book and when to say the book is wrong in this case. It's time to go for 2.
I got to go for my stomach.
And I agree totally. In that instance, I would have gone for 2. But it's also one of my pet peeves is a lot of football teams start going for 2 when they really don't need to.
There's a difference between chasing points early.
Exactly.
And late in the game, if you do the math, okay, there's 9 minutes to go. They're not going to get 3 possessions. They're not going to beat you with a touchdown and 2 field goals. Not with 9 minutes to go. It's not going to happen unless something fluky happens with turnovers or something like that.
Yeah.
And as long as I was saving this for the 7 o'clock hour, but we'll just kind of blend everything in together. Since another thing about it, the last drive Tennessee had the ball, you had a third and 6, 3rd and 8. And the camera angle was from way back. You see Dobbs clap. The 2 backs go each direction. The exact same play they ran in the first half.
Yeah.
And Dobbs keeps the ball, runs a sweep, and then just basically goes down. There's no chance of getting a first down on that play. Whereas, I don't know if you hand it to that big 240-pound back in that situation. I don't know. He may break a tackle and go for 10 yards, kind of like he did in the previous drive where he scored the touchdown.
Yeah.
But if you don't give him a chance, when you're just playing to not to lose, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
More often than not, you're going to lose when you're playing not to lose.
Well, I said early in the ball game, and I say this every time we play Florida, field goals are going to lose you the football game. You've got to score touchdowns.
Yeah. Well, boys, I didn't mean to get y'all off topic there, but
No, you just brought the topic closer because it was going to get talked about, believe me, and it'll get talked about more.
the way my picks have been going each week, I'm going to have to start going for 2 a little more often myself. All right. Well, I spent $28 on tickets to the Walker Valley Cleveland game. I'm gonna go sit in my recliner and watch it on TV. So
Sounds like a plan to me.
You man.
Hey, at least you gave the money to Cleveland High School, though.
rebuild the turf.
There you go.
It's gonna get chewed up tonight. It's gonna be like, remember that Bradley Cleveland game at Bradley years ago?
Yeah, the Mud Bowl.
Oh man, I'm afraid it's gonna be that way. And
I got a feeling this. You're right.
all right, boys, have a good evening.
You too.
You too.
See ya.
Good
Well,
buddy, Travis.
Get through the picks, and then we'll jump back into that game. Because
Yeah.
I got 20 minutes worth of fussing to do. But at the end of all that fussing, I support Butch 110%. I think he's the right coach at Tennessee. I think that anybody that says Tennessee needs to fire the coach and go get another
It's
one
crazy.
is absolutely crazy. And that
Yeah.
would be tearing down a program that's finally starting to get built back up. Is there any reason not to say Silverdale's going to win this ball game?
There is actually one reason.
No.
Who's got it?
I do.
Somebody's trying to make
I'm taking Polk County to win their very first ball game in 2 years.
I hope you're right. I hope we're all wrong.
Everybody else is going with Silverdale. I'm going to go out there on that limb and go with Polk County.
You know, I wonder how the Polk County home crowds are. Just hope they're still supporting it.
You know, Polk County does have a lot of good support amongst its fans. Now, the numbers might be down a little bit, but they've got a lot of support.
Good deal. Good deal. Of course, Silverdale.
Bearden at Bradley. Bradley getting back home, first time in 3 weeks. I guess that's since the Cleveland.
Yeah.
Since the Cleveland game. 3-3 Bearden, 4-1 Bradley. I think Bradley's been a little bit of a pleasant surprise.
A little bit better than what I expected to start off with.
And I'm hoping that with that week off, they were able to develop a little bit more of a running game to, take some of the pressure off of Copeland. Because they definitely need it. Down the stretch, they're going to need to be able to run the ball.
Yeah.
This week, I don't think it's going to be that much of an issue. Travis has got Bradley. Dustin's got Bradley. I've got the Bears to go 5-1 on the year.
Apparently, I'm not going to stop the bell from being rang.
Nah, not so far.
Not so far. I will not stop the bell. Bradley Central at home.
Bears.
Yeah.
And that state's 9th ranked team in the highest classification. Where the nines are wild. What we're now, I call it 9 seconds, 9 yards from being undefeated. Wasn't we about on the 9-yard line?
It was on the 9-yard line.
9-yard line of 9 seconds, and heck broke loose. But alrighty then. Yeah, Bears at home.
Interesting thing about this game is Bearden is playing better this year. And as Coach Floyd said the other day, this is going to be the biggest offensive line Bradley will see all year.
No.
Yep. They're big boys. Big offensive line. Run a spread formation, much like Bradley does. But got a decent quarterback. They're a pretty good football team. Interesting thing on the Coach T boards, been chattering back and forth with a Blount County fan, and he pretty much says that Bradley has been playing a weak division, so that we're not that strong, and we're very inconsistent, and he's taking Bearden to beat us. Everybody down here disagrees, takes Bradley to win the ball game. One thing he was talking about, we lost Devin Moore in the Jefferson County game at the very last minute. Pretty bad injury. He dislocated an ankle and had a broken fibula. They relocated the dislocated ankle on the field. And then he had surgery. He's out for the season. Sophomore running back. He was replacing Courtney Bradley. Cortland Bradley, and he is back for this ball game from a little hamstring injury. And also Bradley gets 4 starting players back from injury for this ball game. So it's going to be interesting because Bradley's going to be the healthiest they've been since the first game of the year for this football game. So I'm hoping that come Saturday morning I can kind of thumb my nose at the William Blount County fan.
Good job there.
Yep. This is one of those years where maybe not having to play the jamboree and playing one less scrimmage might actually have helped the Bears a little bit. I mean, with lack of injuries, that sort of thing. You're on Good Sports.
I just have a question.
Okay.
When y'all have your picks, you pick the teams.
Mm-hmm.
When do you tell who won or not?
We don't go over each game. We just go, the next week we go over who's in the lead, that sort of thing. If you want us to start doing that, we can kind of quickly.
That would be interesting to know who picked most games.
Okay, we'll start doing that then. Thank you for the suggestion.
Well, Red, I'll tell you, I wasn't too good last week. I won 7, lost 5.
I was right there with you.
I know you bet on Tennessee, didn't you?
And I lost that one. That was a bonus special. Yeah, I picked it 24-17 Tennessee.
Sad thing is, I probably spent an hour longer on my 7 and 5 than you did on your 7 and 5.
You bet the mortgage on that.
I picked Florida.
Yeah, you did. You told us.
Tried to tell us.
But I didn't know it was going to happen like that. I was mad.
I knew it was going to happen some stupid way like that. Honestly, I thought that with Tennessee throwing,
I thought when they started out they was doing good. I actually watched the whole game.
Oh no, she watched the whole ball
That's
game.
what happened.
I sure did.
That's it.
I watched the whole Tennessee game. But I saw them boys do some things that should have had some whistles blowed on them, and they didn't do it.
Who, Bradley or the Vols or Florida?
The Vols. They was out of place that time too. If I'd have been a referee or whatever it is, I'd been blowing that whistle and throwing flags on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I saw 1 or 2 that Florida probably should have been flagged on too.
I'd hit Butch Jones right in the nose. That's just my opinion.
It was a little frustrating.
It was. But anyway.
Well, you've got a big one there tomorrow or Saturday.
Do what?
You've got a big game coming Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Huge game.
It's going to be a home game, so it'll be a little better on Georgia.
Well, actually, for the first time in 72 football games, Alabama is an underdog.
What do you mean? They've lost already?
No, they Georgia is favored in that game.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
First time in 72 ball games that Alabama wasn't the favorite.
Well, last time they almost beat them, so
Yeah.
I hope they do anyway.
Yeah, so do we. So do I, anyway. I can't speak for everybody else, but I believe I'd root for Beirut against Alabama.
The good thing about that ball game is that no matter which one wins, I get to watch somebody suffer.
Yeah.
Because I've got a bunch of Alabama friends and family and a bunch of Georgia friends and family. So one way or another, I'm happy because I get to watch somebody suffer.
Well, do they watch you suffer when Tennessee loses?
Oh yeah, they do.
And enjoy every bit of it, too.
Or rub it in on you then.
No, they always do.
Well, that's why you do. Well, my daughter's a big Tennessee fan, and my son-in-law's a Florida fan, so we're kind of mixed up, and we get in fights over it.
Well, I'll be honest with you. The last 7 years of being a Tennessee fan has really fed me a steady dose of humble pie, and I don't rub it in on anybody anymore.
Why not? It's fun.
Well, because
Somebody in a fuss and listen at them.
it's just the beat down that we've taken. It's just it is what it is, I guess.
Well, that's the fun of football.
Yeah.
Just sitting around depressed all the time.
Wondering why.
Yeah. Okay, I'll let y'all go.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah, I think the healthiest dose for us is just to watch a game, and we have let's say Kansas State and Wyoming, and just we don't give a who wins.
Yeah.
Just to take it in.
Actually, I didn't even watch. I mean, after the Florida game, it was so aggravating to me, and I was so sick. I had sworn off football for the rest of the night.
But yeah,
Then I turned it back on about 2 hours later. But still, I went to. Normally, I go right from one game into the other, and I was just like, I didn't want to see it. I just sickening.
Yeah, I pretty much kept the football game on.
I didn't listen to the post game show.
No, I didn't either.
No, I
And
didn't
normally,
either.
I do that.
Now I did listen to the Sunday morning sound off with Jimmy
I did.
Himes and
Yeah.
Tim Irwin.
I could have watched the Butch Jones show, but chose not to do that.
No, I didn't. Want to.
And let's finish up this pick. We'll get into
Yeah. Walker Valley, 2-3, Cleveland 3-3. Probably two of the most inconsistent teams that you can ever watch.
exactly.
And that's what makes this game so fun here in, 18 minutes.
18 minutes.
18 minutes, yeah.
You know, you've
And-
got I think Walker Valley's beaten Cleveland once in their history.
Yes, one
One time.
Bears
and it was at Cleveland High School.
And it was at Cleveland High School.
Yep.
I thought Cleveland with Cleveland at this stage of the season, 3-3, they're kind of where I expected them to be as far as record wise, because, we talked about it at the beginning of the year, a new coach, young players, all that was a recipe for a team that gets better as they go.
Yeah, and you remember I said at the start of the season I'd rather play Cleveland early than late.
Yeah. And a week ago, if I picked this game, I would have picked it the other way. But this week, I'm taking Walker Valley to get the win at home. I mean, on the road.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm picking the Walker Valley Mustangs, who've only defeated the Bradley Bears once as well.
Yeah.
I'm picking them to
So they're 2-21
lose. I picked Cleveland at home tonight.
against their rivals. Against their,
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yes, it's parallel.
Yep,
Yeah.
2-21 be 2, depending on the night.
Dustin says Cleveland. Travis says Walker Valley, kind of a shocker.
Yeah. And you're exactly right. This game, both teams have been inconsistent. There's times when Cleveland has looked pretty good. There's been times they looked really bad.
And the same way with Walker Valley.
Exactly.
Honestly, this is a game that you could say heads Walker Valley, tails Cleveland,
Yeah.
and flip it, and you'd have as good of a chance of picking it.
Exactly. Well, I'm going out there. I'm taking the home team, mainly because they're the home football team. I'm following Doc's philosophy on this one.
Come on home, brother.
Ron Moore is picking Cleveland, but Bryson and Danny, you know where they're going. They're going to Walker
I should
Valley.
hope so.
And then Brian is going with Cleveland as well, so he may be in their doghouse for this ball game. But Walker Valley come out of a bye week, and they changed some things around on defense and beat normally a good Tyner team handily. If that defense has improved that much and comes out tonight, Cleveland is in for it.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So it's going to be a good one. Oh, and checking the cash player of the week for last week was Jashawn Hill from Cleveland High School.
Congratulations.
Very good. Congratulations. Yes.
With a lot now that we're going to just transition right on into the SEC hour, or 45 minutes at this point, and continue talking about Tennessee, Florida a little bit. One guy that knows a little bit about that rivalry had a little bit to say about it. Coach Fulmer, while he was very disappointed in it, he did say that he firmly has Jones's back. He says we've gone through a really tough time, but I truly believe that Butch has us on the right track. I know we're disappointed about the Florida and Oklahoma games at the end, but look back 2 years ago. We're so much better than we were. We're so much better now than we were then. Paraphrasing him, and I agree with that. I mean, I think that Fulmer's right, where we can win any game we go into now. The thing
Yeah.
is getting over the hump and actually doing it. And part of that is the coaches learning how to win. Some of the decision making, it's just
Like I said, I think you've got a situation here where you've got a mid-major coach moving up, and maybe there's a little bit of a learning curve right there. I know Tommy's watched Tennessee for years, just like I have, and there's no two ways about it. You've got to score touchdowns to win these games against really good football teams. Go back to the Oklahoma game. I don't have much fault with very many of the calls except for that first field goal.
Yeah.
He should have gone, if he goes for a touchdown right there, I think that changes the complexion of the game a whole lot. This game against Florida, some of the decisions, though, timeouts, when they had them stopped.
Here's the thing about one of those timeouts. They line up to kick a field goal, and you call a timeout. Isn't it just pretty standard? I mean, if you're worried about them going for a fake, don't you just run field goal safe out there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no brainer, and you call a timeout. McElwain thinks about it for a minute, and I got something to say about McElwain here in a minute. But he runs out. He just says, "No, go for it," and he does. He rolls the dice and he goes for it. What I want to say about McElwain, I was really impressed with. Number one, he comes out first interview, as a team comes out on the field, and she's wanting to talk strategy, and he's like, "Man, you just can't ask for a better day for it." And he's just really, you can tell he's just kind of enjoying the whole atmosphere. After the game, his interview the same way, and the only thing negative that he had to say, and I agree totally with this, he said, until Tennessee wins, he said, losing to Tennessee is just something we don't do, and our players didn't do it. Hey, you know what? Until Tennessee wins a ball game against them.
But, whenever he one of the first things that out of his mouth, though, if I remember correctly, was a compliment on the game.
Yeah.
I mean, he said they played hard.
And to me, I thought the team played well. I have a few things that I have a main problem with Butch. Coming out both Mondays after losses, he's defended those decisions.
Yeah.
I would much rather him say, you know what, and looking back at him, if I had it to do over again, I'd probably not do that. Jancic yesterday, on the defensive coordinator, said, I think I called that coverage one too many times, talking about on that last play, 3 dropping 8.
Mm-hmm. Send the house. Send the house.
Exactly. Well,
Send the house.
Even not the house, but send somebody.
House.
You can't give a freshman quarterback 15 seconds to throw the
And
ball.
He's not that good of a quarterback.
And I saw an interesting stat. When rushing 3, Florida had, I think it happened 6 times. 6 plays for 96 yards is what Tennessee gave up. And then steadily decreases as they go down.
But can you point to that as saying that's a mid-major coach that learned a lesson?
I hope so. He's saying that he learned a lesson, so I have no problem with that.
And the thing of it is, we're playing a lot of freshmen. They've got to learn how to win. They've got to learn what it takes to win in the SEC. We've got a coaching staff that's got to learn a little bit too. And, here's the thing. Everybody wanted a name coach. We didn't get a name coach. We got a good coach. I think we got a coach that's going to become a name coach.
I think we got the right coach.
I think we got the right coach for Tennessee at this time. The thing of it is, we've got to roll through the bad days to get to the good days again.
Yep.
And one thing I'll say, I started watching Tennessee in the Doug Dickey days. I went through the Bill Battle days. I went through the days of Johnny Majors when Johnny Majors did not have good football teams at Tennessee.
I remember losing to Georgia one time, 44-0.
Yeah. Everybody and here's something else. Everybody carries on about the fact that Tennessee has lost to Florida 11 times. I went through 11 straight losses to Alabama.
Yeah.
So, come on, people. This is not anything totally out of ordinary for longtime fans. We're going to get back to it. I'm looking for the day that when everything comes back around and Tennessee has another run like they had in the late 80s and all the way through the 90s. And it will come back again.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
And it'll be sweet.
Yes, it will. It will. Now on to this game this week against Arkansas.
The biggest offensive line in football.
Heavens. What's
Not,
it-
and I'm not saying just college football.
average 340 then, let me guess.
Pretty much up there.
They are the Hogs.
They have a bigger offensive line than the NFL teams.
Man.
They are big up front.
They've been eating hogs down there.
Yeah, yep, maybe so. But that doesn't even mean that they've been all that great. You know, their offensive production has not been the greatest in the world at all. Look at their scores, look at their record. It's not translating into a lot of wins for them, but they are
And
a
look-
big football team.
And losing their top running back at the beginning of the year hurt them
Oh,
badly.
yes.
Tennessee's got to win this ball game.
Yeah.
This is a must-win for the program right now, because go out and lose this game, and you got the fans. You're starting to lose the fans that you've worked so hard to get back.
And let's be fair. It's a must game for Arkansas as well.
For their season, yes.
Yeah, when you look at what they're fixing to be, run through in their SEC schedule in the West, yeah, they've got to win this ball game too. So this is a must win for both teams.
So it should make for a fun Saturday night at Neyland Stadium.
Yes.
You know, one stat wouldn't read was Tennessee wide receivers 2 catches, 7 yards.
That's pathetic.
How
Yeah.
are we not getting separation? I mean, I'm not seeing it.
We're not calling pass plays.
We're not calling pass plays, and when we are calling pass plays, I'm not seeing the pass actually being thrown as many times as it probably ought to be. I've seen it being pulled down and run. Big question right now is the reason because they're scared to let Josh Dobbs throw the football. The other thing that I've seen some people actually say is that the receivers are simply not getting open.
Well, that's what
Josh Smith was
separation.
open once on the sidelines, and
Yeah.
this brings me to my next point. And while it wasn't a good throw, it was still a catchable ball, and it should have been caught.
Oh, yeah, I
There
remember that.
was a few
Yeah,
of those.
Yeah.
I think one of the problems is, and tell me if y'all agree with me here, a lot of times, I mean, this whole subbing in 3 and 4 receivers every other play or every 2 plays, you don't get the continuity quarterback and receivers if you're running that many players in and out. You know, when you look at some of the good Tennessee teams, they had 4 really good receivers and 2 or 3 serviceable
Mm-hmm.
backups, good backups,
Yeah.
but they didn't play them all. And I think that he's doing way too much of that in and out, and they're not developing a rhythm. You know, they say that a running back needs carries to get in a rhythm. I think a receiver needs to be on the field the same way.
I think you take 3 starters in a wide receiver set, and you put them on the field, and you run with them.
Yeah.
You go with, you pull one of them out every once in a while to give them a little short breath and put somebody else in there, but you pretty much consistently run with a starting
And I really like Josh Smith, but right now I think he's had way too many drops over the last, several ball games, and I think he's one that should probably, his time should be a little sparing, a little more sparingly.
Switching just a little bit. The very last play where the was it Hurd ran out of bounds or
no, the tight end,
Wolf went out of bounds, and I could see the big tall ref. He hesitated on whether to give the old signal of the clock is stopped or wind it. There was hesitation there. You had to distinctively remember that.
There was, but I'm not going to blame refs because fact is that a minute and 38 seconds left when Tennessee gets the ball, they run 4 plays in a minute with 2 timeouts. That's inexcusable.
Well,
I
the
don't
first
care
two
what.
were running plays. Weren't they? It netted almost nothing. Was that the drive?
Yeah.
No, I don't think the last drive. I was thinking they were throwing it.
I thought they netted.
No, it was passes, but 4 pass plays
Yeah.
in a minute and a half
Well,
is inexcusable.
well,
Even if it was 4 run plays in a minute and a half.
Yeah,
That's inexcusable.
That you should be a little bit moving a little bit faster than that. The only thing that I'll say about that last play is that the official was a little indecisive to start with, and that did not help.
No,
the
it didn't
situation.
help. It didn't help.
the guy
Now-
ran on the field for Tennessee, either sub or whatever.
Yeah, and that's when Tennessee had to take the last time out to avoid the 10-second runoff.
Yeah, what they call that, illegal formation
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The
Well,
guy,
illegal participation because there's they would have put 12 players on the field.
Right.
yeah, that hurt bad right there. And at the time I thought, did he go out of bounds or not? Then the ref came over and said he's fixing to make a call, and it was hesitation. And then the next thing you know, the Tennessee player running on the field.
To be honest with you, that probably did cost Tennessee a good 5 seconds, as far as the referee.
But even 5 seconds,
But
though,
5 yards,
you're not going to run another
no,
play
It was too
with
it
no
was too tight
timeouts.
at that point.
Yeah,
But at the same time, that didn't help the situation
No.
at all.
We took the time. They took the time out to avoid the end of the
runoff.
game or the 5. Was there a penalty? 5 yard
No.
penalty?
No, they still got the penalty,
Oh,
but because of the duel, because of what happened in
It,
2010
that-
at the bowl game,
yeah.
there's a 10-second runoff if that situation happens now.
Yeah. See,
And so we almost we really lost because of a rule that was created because we lost a game the other way.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
but the thing of it is, though, is Florida also turned around and gave us that 5 yards right back on a penalty.
I didn't remember that.
Well, they didn't.
Yeah.
No, because there was 12 on the field, but they called a timeout. Florida
They
called
called
a
a
timeout.
timeout for that, but they had another penalty.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well, it ended up a 55-yarder,
Yeah.
and
It's
it
gonna
would
be
have
a
been
50
good. It would have been good from 65.
Yeah.
It was a 55. It's going to be a 55-yarder. They had the 5-yard penalty to Tennessee, and if I remember correctly, Florida did some. They called the timeout. They lined up and everything, and I think somebody jumped.
The football gods just doesn't want Tennessee to win right now.
And then,
It,
and I'll come back to that in just a second. But the other thing is, we have fussed about our field goal kicker being wide right. He had a mulligan. He was wide right. But on the second kick, if that was any closer, the goalpost would have been going boing.
Here's what's funny about that. Okay, it's not funny. It's very sad. I just said the football
I think
gods.
we're going to the same place, and I'll make.
If you watch the replay, those flags are as limp as they could be.
Yeah.
As that ball's going up, and you see the ball going this way, all of a sudden you see a little bit of a breeze, and
that needs to be investigated.
Okay. Now then, I'm going to go back to to this same situation, football gods. Karma.
Yeah.
Listen to Sunday Morning Sound Off. Did you listen to it?
I didn't, but I think I know where you're going with it. But go ahead.
Tim Irwin's quote.
Oh yeah, it was Tim Erwin. I didn't hear it, but I did see it.
I'm
Go
not
ahead.
familiar with this.
Discussion was into the idea of luck and bad luck. What goes on and what is wrong with Tennessee and what's the situation. And Tim Irwin is a former Tennessee player.
Of the
Played-
NFL.
Played for Coach Majors and Coach Fulmer on the offensive line. And
Early 80s.
yeah, something like that.
What was his name again?
Tim Irwin. Wound up at Minnesota, I think it was. Had a nice career there. Retired from that. Became a player's
Liaison, whatever. Yeah.
yeah. He did a few other things. Was involved with the Players Association stuff like that, has a lot of contacts within the pro football leagues and the national, collegiate ranks. And the discussion got into why was Tennessee losing games like this. And he says, I don't subscribe to this, but this is what is being said amongst the football
outside the Tennessee
outside
family.
the Tennessee family about what's going on in Tennessee. And he says, bottom line is, it's the karma of what the Tennessee football program and the way the athletic department treated Coach Fulmer.
And I agree totally. I've said that for a couple of years.
I
We're
should
paying for it.
I should have looked up that direct quote.
Yeah.
But paraphrase, that's pretty close to what he said.
Yeah.
He said, I don't subscribe to this, but that is what the people outside the program nationally say, is that we have a situation where, and he said going back, you could actually make that argument about the way we treated the end of the tenure for Majors and Fulmer era both ended up.
And I don't know if we've ever brought this up before, and I can't remember where I heard it or read it, that Fulmer's last game at home, was that right? Correct? Wasn't a bowl game, right? Was it?
No.
At home,
Didn't
home
make-
game, get somebody named like Kentucky or somebody.
We had Kentucky.
His last game, and I think they won.
Yeah.
That Fulmer took his headphones off and laid them on the field. Have you ever heard that?
I'm sure. Well,
And just walked 50-yard line or something, walked off and left him.
I don't know, because he was
as in-
carried off.
I don't think he had them on. I
Well,
mean,
no,
I think
but
that black
most
and
of the
white
time,
photo, but,
when they get done, they hand them to somebody. Usually,
Maybe.
so I don't know. To be honest with you,
as a sign of he didn't want to go. Like his heart was.
he
there,
should have
not-
never been. He should
No.
have never been let go.
Well-
We've said that for 5 years now.
Well, the thing of it is, he was basically told to do X or certain things, and he did the things that he was asked to do. And everybody expected, we need 2 years to get things pointed in the right direction, in the new direction. And before 3/4 of the first year was over,
Mm-hmm.
out of here. My personal opinion on that was they never intended to give him a real shot at turning things around.
No, Mike Hamilton is the devil. Just to be honest with you, I mean, just to be my opinion. I
don't know whether it was intentional or unintentional, but he was not a good AD.
he screwed up Tennessee football.
How many millions is the athletic department still paying former coaching regimes? Is it 15, 16?
Still paying Dooley. Now, right now, we're still paying Dooley and
Probably Dooley, and who's Shirley Kiffin's out of the picture.
yeah,
That
oh yeah,
disqualified.
Kiffin was not a
Dooley and his staff. Wasn't its initial thing around $10 million?
something like that. It was ridiculous. 5 for Dooley, I think.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So it was ridiculous.
But hey, let me get this in right quick.
Yeah, your point that you were circled.
I was near the end of the Tennessee game. I was preparing to go out to the Dewdrop Inn, believe it or not.
Did I see pictures of that?
That was on Saturday. You may have. And I wasn't paying. I was back and forth fooling the cats, trying to keep them from running the room, whatnot. And I didn't catch that the network was it CBS carried the game was showing a replay of a similar situation where a field goal was it Will Hoyt, the last one, and I think Fulmer's quote on that thing was he hit that ball, it went off like a cannon. But I lost perspective on the game I was watching, and I thought what I was seeing on the replay was live.
Oh no!
Yeah, there was a stream of obscenities that.
Well, now one of the
cats hope they don't ever repeat.
One of the interesting things is that people that was listening to the ball game on the radio heard Tim Priest say the field goal was good.
Butch jumped up with his arms up.
Well,
everybody, it was from their position, it had to look good. But Tim Priest said on the radio it's good, then Bob Kessling had to correct it.
No, I have no doubt it was wide right. But, I've been at high school games, and you guys probably have too, where it not only was close, it looked like it went right down to John Brown middle. I mean, the middle. And the referee called it no hesitation, no good. I mean more than once, probably 4 or 5 times. I mean, I don't know if it's the angle or what.
Sometimes it's the angle that you've got.
Like, what?
That's one thing I like about sitting in the same place all the time. You get used to the angle.
Yeah.
You get to where you kind of know where things are.
Tommy doing a little backpedaling research on our accuracy of our memory here from.
Yeah.
But now the field goal you're talking about was the 1998 Tennessee-Florida game.
Was that what it was?
Yes.
Okay.
That was in overtime.
I just looked up out of the corner of my eye. I guess I came 2 feet off the ground. The cats don't repeat all that. But,
yeah, I'm sure you're gonna be all right.
Yeah, we'll keep it under our hats.
Yeah.
Just tough.
Yeah.
Tough to be a Wall fan after a game. After that.
But let's look at this realistically. We've got a better football team. We've got a better program. We're really in every game we're playing. Whereas if we're within 10 points, we're thinking, "Wow, we had a good game today."
Yeah, we've been.
We got a little lucky here today and kept it close. We're legitimately in these ball games. Things are better right now than they have been.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Tommy talks about coaching decisions. Rick Newhousel, after the game, he made some comments and basically called Coach Jones out that was a dumb call on the 2-point conversion.
Where's my sheet at? I do too.
The color guy, Gary Danielson,
Mm-hmm.
he was questioning a couple of calls that he thought was bad wrong. And that's unusual to hear them come out on air and say things like that. But at the same time, you can't hardly argue those things. The only argument I got into this morning was not about whether I agreed with the call on the 2-point play, but the fact that every team has an analytical sheet that says what they need to go by.
I look at the back of my pick'em paper there.
Yeah.
I got that analytical right there.
Yeah, I know. I look at that and I go, no wonder Doc is.
All right, now.
Yeah.
Quickly on this here, attendance this Saturday with rain projected. Does 102,000 show up?
Yes,
You think so?
I think so.
102,000.
There was 102 there
Bowling Green
for Western Carolina Division
Western
1 AA.
Oh, it was.
So yeah, I think Butch has got the fans. You just got to keep them.
I'll say that depends a whole lot on what the morning's like.
Keep in mind,
Arkansas will bring a good crowd.
Arkansas will bring, even if they bring 4,000, 5,000, that's still more than Western Carolina. Western Carolina brought maybe 100 or 2.
Hold it now. Hadn't we been are we 5 years removed from 88, 85,000? I'm off track there. 80, 90? I mean,
No, we're a couple years removed. 2 years removed. 3 years.
Yeah.
Well,
I can see that Tommy could be right on the 102, but I could see some empty seats in that stadium.
It's a night game.
If the rain situation is bad enough.
It's a night game, and Georgia and Alabama are already over with at this point. At that point.
What if Butch Jones? This is his business scenario. Butch Jones is introduced at the ball game as head coach of Tennessee Vols. Butch Jones, and this crowd stands up and gives a standing, rousing round of clapping and ovation and approval. Wouldn't that be good for
Needs to happen.
the beleaguered coach?
Needs to happen. Now, watch the just real closely. Watch the flags as you see the ball go.
We're watching here live on.
Well, not live. It's from last week.
A live replay. Looks like I'm gonna have to tap it again there, or Mr. Freeze took place in orange juice land down there. All right, here we go. You are right. You're right. I mean,
you just see an ever so,
and that's about all it took.
It really did.
And there was probably a delayed reaction on the flags that the breeze was blowing. Just what?
Yeah.
5. The ball was.
It wasn't
10.
hard. It wasn't a hard breeze. It was just enough.
That needs to be investigated. 'Cause you remember, wasn't it several years ago in our life?
Did they have a big fan of it on that side of the field?
But somebody in one of these decathlon things figured out if they opened the doors, maybe I don't know if it was Americans cheating or the Russians. They opened the doors on the Coliseum that when they're throwing the javelin to their back, it gave them another 10 yards or something.
Yeah, I've seen some stuff on that. Of course, Tennessee's got to play Arkansas. Both teams need a win bad. Really need this win. So it's going to make for an interesting football game. And you look at the statistical analysis, and I heard some of this earlier today. Tennessee has given up just about what Arkansas is doing offensively.
Mm-hmm.
So and Arkansas scoring 20 to 24 points a ball game with that, and Tennessee scoring in the upper 20s.
Got to throw the ball more.
And that's one of the things that they're talking about is they are going to throw the football more this week. Work to get the receivers more involved in the ball game. Tennessee's got to be more efficient across the entire spectrum of the offense.
Mm-hmm.
Do we see
And I've got to say this, Hurd. We hadn't even we've talked about so much negative stuff. We've got to mention this.
Yeah, that guy played his heart out.
Tennessee's offensive line went up against arguably one of the best defensive front sevens there is in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Tough duty, didn't do an absolute great job, but Hurd
didn't do a bad job either.
didn't do a bad job, but didn't do a great job. Hurd broke the 100-yard mark in tough running. I think he averaged like 3.5 yards per carry on the day.
Yeah, you would see him get hit, and it'd stand him up, and he would still leverage the pile of another foot or two forward.
Yeah, so
strength.
Terrific, hard-running football game for Jalen Hurd. You got to say something about him.
Absolutely.
You know that was a positive.
And as much as we've talked about negative coaching, my goodness, what a call on number one, the throwback pass.
Oh, yes.
Throw the ball to Jennings. Jennings throws it back to Dobbs, and Dobbs just right down the line gets a good block, and he's gone.
As soon as Dobbs turned and threw the ball, I knew that was a wide
throw.
receiver pass.
But you thought it was going downfield.
I thought it was going downfield
exactly.
like you. Because Jennings is a former quarterback. I thought they're going to hit something deep from Jennings.
Yep. And
bell ringer.
You're on Good Sports.
How you doing, Tommy?
What's going on?
Hey, I got an update for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Maryville is up 20-0 over.
Okay, so much for keeping it within 20.
Upset special.
Yeah.
20-0.
Well, we would expect that.
First half. Hey, it's in the first half.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, 3.4 seconds. No, 3.47 minutes in the first half.
Okay.
I was looking at the clock.
Yeah. I hope so.
I got that game right.
Yeah, so far.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything on the Cleveland game yet.
Look, if you hear anything, you can give us a call and let us know.
All right.
All right, thanks.
Bye-bye.
But the throwback to Dobbs, and he walked a tightrope down that sideline and got around some people and then turned on some afterburners.
Oh yeah.
So that was a terrific play.
Yeah, and then the old Tebow-esque pass.
The jump pass.
Good call there. Yeah, a couple of good calls right there. Yeah, that's
and speaking of as we're giving data boys out, what can you say? And we give Red a hard time about Georgia and everything, but the class that Mark Richt,
he's always been a class individual.
But you look at and Doc's kind of looking at me puzzled here.
I missed the point.
Southern had a player essentially break a couple of vertebrae in his neck. Severe spinal cord injury. They took him, spent a lot of time with him on the field and then took him to the hospital. He can't move his legs, that sort of thing. On Georgia's dime, they flew the parents who weren't there, flew them to Athens to be with their son. Richt was there on Sunday. I mean, just
Yeah.
you know, had him, and from what I guess their coaches get together for lunch or something or dinner.
Yeah.
And instead of doing that day, they went to the hospital to be with this kid, and you know, just classy.
I really hadn't heard about that, but if you guys remember me saying admired, anytime an opposing player or other player for that matter gets hurt, how the fans react and all. Yeah, I'm not ready to get hurt. What's
one of the quickest ways to make a Georgia fan mad?
What's the quickest way? Trim the hedges.
No.
In midsummer's form, bloom.
Refer to Mark Richt as Georgia's Coach Fulmer.
Never.
You'll get Georgia fans dander up when you say that.
Oh, Georgia Bulldogs.
The comparison between the two is very good. There's both class individuals. They both run good, clean programs for the most part, do their best, have had good records, are good men.
Yet their fan bases, for some reason, I mean,
I know.
I don't know.
What's his winning percentage? It's got to be 7 something, isn't it?
If
not 8.
No, it's pretty close to what Fulmer's was. They're pretty similar as far as their win percentage is concerned.
No, he's not going to be manufacturing carpet anytime.
This Saturday at 3:30, Alabama visits Georgia as a 2-point underdog. 3-1 Alabama and ranked 13th going against number 8 Georgia at 4-0. Now, in how many years has it been since we could say Georgia's ranked ahead of and favored in a football game with Alabama?
Yeah.
For going on the Rick's record, Fulmer was 152-52.
Mm-hmm.
Rick 140-48. So if he goes 12-4 over his next 16 games, he's looking at
and that's what I was saying. Very
two
similar
SEC
coaches.
championships, which Fulmer had 2.
Yeah.
6 Eastern Division championships, which Fulmer had right at 97, 98, 2001, 2004, 2007. Fulmer had 5.
And Rick coming in from Florida State, offensive coordinator. What was he?
He was offensive coordinator.
Offense. So offense is his strength. So he called that play Haynes over the middle.
Probably.
But
nail boot and all that.
That's one of the amazing things is when I look at the two coaches, how much they mirror each other. As far as the only thing that Fulmer has done right now that Rick hasn't,
the national championship.
Yeah, we were aided. Well, we must qualify that. I think statute of limitations ran out of fourth down pass against was it Syracuse?
Syracuse, yeah.
It was close to interference. I believe the referee may have made the correct call.
I agree.
I could call the man's name, but I won't. Yeah. It's in the books now.
The other game, Saturday night, at 7:00, Ole Miss in Florida. Tommy.
Ding-a-ling.
Oh, hey, we getting a call. You're on Good Sports.
I got an update for you.
Go for it.
Walker Valley's up 7-0.
Whoa.
I changed my pick.
Too late, Doc.
Yep, a little too late.
He didn't hear you.
Walker Valley's up 7-0.
Yeah.
I picked Cleveland. Pick with my heart.
I'm trying to get a score. And that other game, I just called on earlier.
Yeah.
You guys get Maryville?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you.
No, you guys get. You know that the pick you guys did.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
You guys picked Maryville?
Yep.
Guess what?
I give up.
You guys. You're winning that game against Maryville.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right, Brett.
We like it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
Alex King makes a 69-yard dash for the Mustang touchdown at the 4:26 mark of the first quarter to go up 7-0.
He had a terrific game running the ball last week against Tyner.
Cleveland had the ball just before that, had the ball at the 6-yard line when they fumbled, at the Walker Valley 6-yard line where they fumbled, and give the ball back to Walker Valley, and then Walker Valley goes 94 yards for the touchdown, with 69 of them being on that one scamper by Keene.
And I see the local Daily Banner Pick'em contest all across the board, except the guy in last place picked Cleveland, including theirs truly, Cleveland Ron Moore. He basically, his quote for this game was, "I flipped a coin." All righty now.
And that's the way that game is. It's a tough one to pick.
Yep. It is.
We shall see. All right,
So-
guys. Any more points of interest about the?
Well,
so
let's
we talked
talk
Rick,
about-
didn't we?
Yeah, we talked about Rick, talked about what a great guy he is. Now, they got a big game. Got a big game against Alabama.
Alabama.
Last time they played, it went down to pass play in the end zone. Yeah, it was at the 2 years ago at the SEC championship
Yep.
game. I'll be honest with you.
Was it Zaire?
No,
Zaire?
no,
That long ago?
that was too long ago. That
was the other guy.
as many adult beverages ago for you, Doc.
That was close. Zaire. That was the other guy that
Aaron Murray.
Murray, yeah. See that's what I'm saying about the Tennessee program. Where is our Aaron Murray? Where is our just fill in the blank? Our junior experienced senior laden quarterback. When by George, the game's on the line, he is going to take it down the field. And
Actually, he threw an interception for Alabama to win the ball game. So that just throws that out the ball window.
Oh, Aaron Murray. I have to check.
Shazam!
So that was Barker then. No?
Barker's from 1992. He won a national championship for Alabama in 92.
Doc, you had too many adult beverages to remember.
Yeah, that could be the case, gentlemen.
Oh,
I tell you what, I've kind of gone back and forth on this one. I just think it's hard to pick against. I don't know what the Vegas says, but it's just hard to pick against Alabama in a big game.
but it's
But they did just lose 2 weeks ago at home in a big game
to Ole Miss,
to Ole Miss, the Land Sharks.
the Land Sharks. I tell you what, I don't think Alabama is bad, but I don't think they are quite what they have been.
I think Georgia gets the win this week and turns around next week and loses at Tennessee.
Ooh,
Calling it now.
wow!
They're
he's
coming
calling
to town next week.
They're coming to town next
This
week.
thing ain't getting any easier,
And
gentlemen.
well, they're not. It's not, except for the fact that they're going to take all that they can take against Alabama, and I think they're going to get that game, and I think they're going to get beat at Knoxville.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that for Knox. I like that idea. Ole Miss and Florida. That ball game's not even close. Ole Miss. Where
I knew that would get a call. You're on Good Sports.
Now, hang on. What are you talking about that Tennessee's going to take Georgia?
I'm just making a prediction.
I'm not red.
Doc, come on, let's bet her.
No, Big Orange. Oh, red. No, I wouldn't.
Well, what about Alabama, Georgia? Well, I'll bet with you on it.
You just want to bet.
Yeah, I want Doc to have to cut that hair.
Yeah, that ain't going to happen.
Ain't the only one, but I got it in a ponytail tonight here, Red. It's all over the place.
I can't wear mine in a ponytail. It falls down.
Yeah, I can't either.
Okay. Y'all just keep on picking. I love this.
All right.
All right. Bye.
What do you think, Georgia? Alabama?
Oh man, I tell you, that's a tough one because you know what kind of coach Saban is and what kind of team Alabama has been. But I tell you what, I like that Georgia running attack. I mean, it's strong.
It's a tough one to
I'm
pick.
going to take Georgia at home because of the home team.
That game should have been on your pick'em sheet from high school.
I know.
As good as
Yeah, I as well. Just Georgia undefeated at home. Bama chink in the armor there. All seems to be going well. You would think if I were a betting man, I would put the cash on Georgia at home there between the hedges.
All right, next SEC game. We'll just touch on these real quick for the last 4 minutes. So much for leaving early, but that's all right. San Jose State traveling to Auburn. Auburn's a little beat up right now, a little licking their wounds.
Auburn still wins.
Oh, yeah, Auburn wins that one easy. Ole Miss and Florida. Tennessee lost to a bad Florida team. Make no mistake.
Ole Miss is good. Ole Miss.
They overlooked Vanderbilt a little bit last week, and they had had some trouble for 3 weeks. Yeah. I mean, for 3 quarters or two and a half quarters. Yeah. But I think this week they're right on track. They beat up that Florida offensive line, and I think they win 10 to 14 points.
Yeah. I agree.
In a game that nobody really probably cares about, Vanderbilt and Middle Tennessee State. Go Blue Raiders.
Times Free Press picked it 21-27, I believe, MTSU.
I'll go along with that. I'll go with MTSU.
Eastern Michigan, LSU.
Fontenot or whatever his name is, Fontaine.
Yeah, he's something else.
193 yards game average or something.
And another matchup of top 25 SEC teams. Mississippi State at A&M. I like A&M. I think that
this game is going to be a tough one, but I'll probably like you. I'll go with A&M.
Yep.
Give them the horns.
Get your horns.
Give them the Texas A&M. Ain't they
No, they're not the Longhorns. They're the Aggies. Hook'em Horns is Texas.
I'm making a few errors over here tonight.
Boy, you are. What's in that? What's in your cup of water or cup of soft drink right there?
Nothing stronger than ginger ale.
Yeah. Tonight, Miami and Cincinnati. Tomorrow night, surprising 4-0 Memphis.
Oh, it's surprising.
Playing against South Florida. And SEC, South Carolina at Missouri at noon. I like the Gamecocks get a win there. That's been a good. That's right there's been a good series.
That's been a really good series, and I'm going to take Missouri at home.
Missouri got the win last year at South Carolina. Year before that, South Carolina got the win at Missouri. I like the trend, the road team here.
Okay. I'm going to take Missouri. They're going to break the trend.
Okay.
Great.
And that's pretty much all I got.
All right. Well,
okay. Did you make a pick this weekend? Tennessee and Arkansas.
I'm going to take Tennessee.
Doc?
Yeah, I like the Vols. Just, my gosh.
I'm going to be a homer. I'm going to say Tennessee.
Unless Arkansas wears their alternate blue and orange jerseys that look like Florida. Then I'll bet her off.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, thanks for letting us entertain you one more evening.
Oh, for everybody's information, we won't be on the air next Thursday night.
Will we not?
Mark Grissom is having his Alzheimer's special starting next Friday morning.
If we're going to yield for something that's outstanding.
Yeah, I'll yield for that. That's fine.
So I've not heard any official word or anything like that, but I know he's going to start at 6 a.m. Thursday morning and go for 30 hours. This is his 3rd year for that, and in the previous 2 years, we've just kind of stood aside and let him have the studio, and more power to him.
That's right. Good job there, Mark. But anyway, thanks for listening, guys, and we'll be back in 2 weeks talking a little football. We'll still pick next week. You just won't know what we're picking.
No, we'll still pick.
All right. Have a good one.
Whoop FM is a non-profit community radio station that is made possible thanks to the generosity of individuals and the following sponsors.
The people would come from far away. They'd race all night till the break of day when they called.